Moving on now to the Chicago White Sox, and this is as two Cubs fans here. Look, we're going to be as objective as possible as we look at this White Sox team.
I don't hate the White Sox.
I don't either.
I just hate them for about a 4-game span.
Starting Monday,
and I will be there Tuesday.
Very
with
cool.
Dave and Brandon.
Now the Crosstown Classic starting up, and whether you think that it's lame that it's only 4 games or 6,
the Cubs need to win it. They need to win it. Because if we lose it, it's one of those things where, yes, we know we're better than you, but I can't deal with Sox fans having anything
who's going to
in
be
their
sitting there
ammo box.
laughing at the end when the Cubs are in the playoffs and the Sox are trying to figure out what the hell they're doing?
Still.
Look,
you give a White Sox fan
surface,
any kind of ammo and he will use it.
I know. But
she will use it.
Okay, well, maybe those who are listening aren't around the White Sox fans like we are. But I'm saying, what it is on the surface is just an interleague matchup. And as important as that is, it's not really.
I wish it would go back to 2-3 game series.
Oh, I'd like that too. But
I liked it better when it was you played 3 in what was it, May or June?
Yeah, and then it's later in the season.
May,
yeah.
And then late June, July, because it gave that kind of okay, you played 3.
Look,
then it gave the fan base some time to trash talk.
Look, it's fun. The Crosstown, it's fun. They have the Crosstown Cup and everything, whatever. But that's not the conversation we're trying to have here. We're talking about the future of the Chicago White Sox, which we often bring up because what are they doing?
Are they going to be buyers or sellers?
Yeah, we did that last week. You guys should check it out. It's pretty fun. But Brandon made up a good point last week. Brandon Swanson, right here on MVP.
B-Dog.
He said that if the Sox are failing around the deadline, they're going to have to do something where they sell. But in reality, are they going to? Because what has this franchise done over the course of the last 6 or 7 years?
Oh, that guy was good in the 90s. Let's trade for him.
Well, now if they make a move like grabbing a Carlos Beltran, then you're kidding yourself.
I totally I expect them to make that move because that's the move they've made my entire life.
So let's catch all y'all up if you haven't heard. Well, apparently there's multiple reports that I guess the White Sox had a King's ransom offer for Chris Sale, and I bring up this because Chris Sale, Jose Quintana, these guys have tremendous value, and if you're going to commit to rebuilding, then those are the pieces you need to move to get, whatever in return. But I guess the White Sox flat out said no to the King's ransom thing for Chris Sale, and I understand that he's your cornerstone, but it's just, what is the direction of the Chicago White Sox? Here are some names that might be on the move, or they could move to get better in the long term. Maybe not this year, because they're not going to do anything this year. You want to move a guy like Avi. As difficult as that may be, you got to do it because he's not showing you anything. Melky Cabrera, he's one of your best hitters. He's been your best hitter throughout his tenure with the White Sox. I know his first 2 months when he first signed was dreadful, but now you can see he's the most consistent guy. Todd Frazier, you're going to move him. You committed to this guy. You traded for him. You're going to move him. Robertson, Duke, all these guys are in play. And now I bring this up because it's a very interesting time for the Chicago White Sox. Do they want to rebuild or do they want to just stay in the mediocre set of all the American League teams right now? Ricky, I want to get your opinion and then I'll jump back in.
I kind of think that the right move for the White Sox would be to sell. And the reason why I'm sitting here saying that is it's one of those things where, and when I talk to friends of mine who are Sox fans, because I have a lot of them being here on the South Side. I'm like a Cub fan surrounded by black and white caps. A lot of them, when the Sox were doing well earlier in the season, it was different than how Cubs felt. Cubs fans were like, great, this is awesome, we're excited. Sox fans were always like, let's wait for the sky to fall, basically, because we're not going to keep this up the whole season. Then they lose to Texas, and it's like, this is the team that we expected to see this season. I say you sell. And does that mean trading Chris Sale? Probably not, but if there is a blockbuster deal and you feel like you are getting enough young talent, I wouldn't rule out a Chris Sale trade. I wouldn't rule it out.
We've had this conversation many times.
He could, and especially the Dodgers, since recently they shut Kershaw down. They shut him down. We don't know how long he's going to be out. If I'm the White Sox, then
jump all over it.
I'm not jumping. Okay, it's a fine line to walk because am I saying just go out and trade Sale? No. But if I'm the White Sox, if I could use this to,
Well, look.
hey, you just lost Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
What do you want to
The
give
White
us?
Sox-
And then they up their offer for young talent. I may take it.
They're always entertaining. This is what they
trying
say.
to work it.
This
I
is
may
what
try
they
to
say.
work it.
You're crazy, Ricky. The White Sox every single season are saying, "Yeah, we're going to entertain all possible moves," but
And then they go out and trade for like a Ken Griffey.
they're
and Manny
always
Ramirez.
trying to go for it, and you see the result. They're in the land of mediocrity for the last few seasons, and are fans sick of it? Because I would be. Look, when let's go back 2 years when in the offseason when they went and signed Adam LaRoche, they got a Melky Cabrera. They even extended Adam Eaton, and they went and then fast forward they traded for Frazier. They got a Brett Laurie. They signed Zach Duke a couple years ago. Signed David Robertson to fix the bullpen. They believed that they had a 3-year window to win a World Series. Now we are in a year and a half, just past a year and a half, and I just don't see the light. And I bring this up because it's hard. Do they want to just totally scrap that idea and be like, look, we're realistic about where we are as a ball club, and we have to move forward now, or else we're just going to suck for another 2 seasons? It's hard for the Chicago White Sox to just blow it up because they are ranked in the bottom 10 in attendance every single season. And that's a shame, and especially in a Chicago baseball town where, fans are very passionate.
Very critical.
And critical.
Well,
You're
it's
right.
like one of the things where I'm going to take an example of when I was listening to the sports talk radio I listened to today, The Herd, he was talking about Aaron Rodgers, but I'm going to take this and deal it to this. In a college town, you may get it to where you get the pom-pom waving and, woo, our team is good. But if you're in New York, you're in Chicago, you're in LA, you're in these bigger markets, the media is going to be more critical of you. It's not going to be like, woo, go
Right.
Sox, woo, let's do this.
Look, there was a lot of optimism going into this season after the offseason that they had. They made some savvy moves, but look, I'm going to say this, and I know hindsight is 20/20. It's easy for me to say this now, but I was an advocate. I was so adamant about the White Sox signing Ian Desmond, and I wanted them to sign Ian Desmond. I wanted them to sign Austin Jackson, and not necessarily make a trade for a Todd Frazier, because in hindsight, it's easy for me to say that Trace Thompson, look at him. Look at what he's doing. Now, we can go back and have a conversation about that for ages. Overall, the Frazier move, it cost you some farm system pieces, MLB-ready talent, but at the same time, this season, he's probably responsible for 7 of their wins. So you're getting value in him. And obviously, he's the guy, man. All the media outlets are looking at Frazier. He's a big-time player in the market, and do they want to re-sign him? Who knows? But if they move a Frazier, that's just going to make me scratch my head. And
Frazier's not the guy you move. He's not the guy I'm looking at. I'm looking at one, though. There's one guy that, and I don't know how White Sox fans are going to accept this, but I'm just going to throw the name out there.
Is it Quintana?
No.
Oh, Robertson?
Jose Abreu.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's in there, yeah.
Here's my thought process.
Cost-controlled contract.
Here's my thought process. He's a bat. He's a power guy.
He's been bad, though. Ugh.
But you could trade him for some youth, get him, find a buyer who can give you some youth, kind of do the same thing Theo's been trying to do. Get some youth into the system, because that's how you win in baseball. Baseball it's either you win 2 ways. You go out there and spend the most money, how George Steinbrenner used to do, or you build your farm system.
You make smart, savvy moves.
That's the 2 ways.
It's got to be smart.
That's the 2 ways. And the way I'm seeing it, what you can do, let's say you do get rid of an Abreu, you get some young guys who maybe won't help you out this season, but could in future
that's
seasons.
the plan of being better in the long term.
What you would do is Frazier would become your first baseman. Maybe Laurie would move over. It would be Laurie would play third or second. The only thing is, you would have Tyler Salandino as either your second baseman or your third baseman, and maybe because I'm not a huge Sox guy, to me from the outside that doesn't scream. I don't have confidence in Salandino as an everyday
if you're starting
player.
Saladino every day, you need to compensate his bat, because let's be honest, he's not going to drive in as many runs as a guy in Anderson even.
Yeah,
but Saladino's a nice player, and he's got value in multiple positions on the defensive side. He's probably one of their best defenders. But overall, in this White Sox conversation, look, right now, their future, I was kind of looking at this. Like, they brought up Fulmer, and he looks really good. They better not move him.
He's going to be good. I got to see him firsthand when he pitched the year before he was drafted. Well, it was actually, he got drafted while he was still pitching.
That's how it goes.
When he was
Vandy?
pitching against my Fighting Illini, fucking destroyed us.
Yeah. And
destroyed
he's
us.
wicked.
And that was a year where I'm like, oh, we could go far. Nope, Vandy.
Yeah. No, that's right. U of I had that crazy run. I do remember that. But yeah, Fulmer, they called him up. He looks very impressive. He's MLB ready for sure. And Justin Morneau's healthy.
He's got a wicked fastball.
His changeup is even dirtier. But Justin Morneau, he's healthy now. And you know what? The White Sox should just put him in the lineup more because he has value from the left side. I don't care. He's better.
DH. He could be your DH.
Well, that's the thing. You're restricted in your DH between Morneau / Abreu.
Well, if you get rid of Abreu, Morneau can be your DH. That's what I'm saying.
Avi Garcia. Justin Morneau can provide more value from the left-handed side against lefties than what you're getting from Avi right now. So look, I bring that up because are the Sox going for it? And that's the everlasting question.
I still think we'll have it to where it's like, oh, you know what?
I think
they're gonna get a Carlos Beltran, and that's what they do because they're the White Sox.
I don't think they're gonna necessarily get like a guy like Carlos Beltran or a Cargo or Jay Bruce right now. I think they do make a move, though. That will kind of make White Sox fans happy. But at the same time, they're just going to be like, where's the direction? So overall, look, we're going to touch back on this topic probably next week or the week after once the trade deadline subsides and all the moves get made because it's going to be happening, people. Like, get ready for it. This is, like I said, this free agent offseason, the free agent lists, it's going to be kind of tough. So teams are going to try and make moves now to not only better themselves this year, but for next year and the years coming. Ricky, any final thoughts on the White Sox before we move on to a similarly owned and constructed organization?
No, my final thoughts on the White Sox is they got to make a move. Abreu's probably the guy I would target to move. However, don't be surprised if they do trade Sale. And Carson Fulmer, what a beast he's going to be in the MLB. Of course, my frame of reference, because I'm not a White Sox farm system guy, is all the way from college, but he did pitch and shut out my Fighting Illini back in college.
Well, personally, I think a player that might be moved would be, several players. Avi Garcia, David Robertson, Zach
You're really
Duke.
looking at Avi to get traded. That's the one you want.
Well,
you were
as a
saying
White
that
Sox
before.
fan, you got to move him.
You were saying that before the podcast.
Well, he's just, gosh, I don't know how you guys can take it out there. But, hey, overall, White Sox, where are they going? Who knows?